never planned on becoming a classical Pilates instructor, but once I experienced it, I could truly never go back. Today I wanted to share what made me choose this path, what the certification process actually looks like, and what I wish I knew before I started. Oh, and hey, I'm Deanna, a classical Pilates instructor. I post workout videos here on YouTube, but I thought I'd just share a little bit more light into the process of what it's actually been like for me. So the journey started fresh out of college. My mom was actually going to Pilates and she was like, oh, why don't you come with me? And I was like, I don't know, Pilates kind of sounds boring, but I wound up going. I did the 3-month free trial at like a small boutique studio and absolutely fell in love with it. At the time, I had no idea there was even a difference between classical and contemporary Pilates. I just thought I was doing Pilates. So once I kind of fell in love with it, immediately I expressed interest to the owner in getting certified. And she was like, oh my God, I have a really good apprentice school that I'm certified through. I would love to take you there and introduce you to them. So pretty blindly, I was like, yeah, I would love to come up and see what it's all about. And I went to go meet her and walked in that room and was like, oh my God. And at this point, I had only done reformer Pilates, which is very, very popular right now. And upon walking into this room, I realized, wait a second, it's not just the reformer, it's many pieces of equipment. Looking around this room, I was in awe of how many different pieces of apparatus I was looking at. Walking in there was a pretty big turning point, and I already kind of started to piece together that this is Pilates. And I had the privilege of actually getting a private lesson the first time that I was there from their master teacher. And this private opened up my eyes to what the Pilates world is really about. I had no idea you could even do private lessons in Pilates. The attention to detail, the transformation that my body felt just from one session, while also invoking such a deep sense of body awareness, the way that she was asking me things, so that I went in my head and said, do I feel my tailbone lifting off the carriage? It was just an incredible experience, and I actually joined the apprentice program that day. I finished my private, I sat down with the master teacher, and I was like, I want to join the apprentice program. Truthfully, I had no idea what that entailed. I was like, oh, this will be so much fun. Like, I get to be a Pilates instructor. I had been taking classes for about 6 months, give or take, so I kind of understood the idea of a fitness instructor. I had been a competitive cheerleader for 10 years and a coach for about 5 or 6 years. So I understood what went into telling people what to do with their bodies. But when I joined the program, no idea what I was signing up for. I have learned so much throughout being in the program. And just to give you a little bit of parameter of what my certification looks like, because I know a lot of them look very different, I am getting trained under a 600-hour comprehensive teacher training program, and my master teachers have been trained under Romana Krzyzanowski, who trained directly with Joseph Pilates, the guy who created Pilates. So I am considered a 3rd generation classical Pilates instructor. And when I signed up for the program and I went home and I was all excited, I did a deep dive into Pilates. Before I had taken any seminar, before I had taken any workshop, I just signed the paper and gave them my money. I did the research into what the 2nd generation and the 3rd generation really meant, and I quickly realized the difference between classical and contemporary Pilates. Now, there's quite a lot of differences, and in my opinion, no one is better than the other. It just depends on what you want out of your certification. So if you're looking to get certified and you don't really understand which way to go or which direction to go, I really feel that having a classical certification and understanding will help you have the building blocks to then go into contemporary Pilates and then honestly go into any other realm of Pilates that you may be interested in. The classical is the foundation. The classical is the wood holding up the house. It is your frame, it is your foundation, it is what is the backbone of Pilates. It's how Pilates was created and intended to be taught. And contemporary uses modern day science with the classical method. However, I do feel like nowadays contemporary Pilates is now becoming more fitness than Pilates. So the absolute biggest thing that made me fall in love with classical Pilates was that it is a systematic approach. So everything is taught in a system. We have a bunch of apparatus, the reformer, the mat, the Cadillac, the Wonder Chair, the high chair, the spine corrector, and many more, right? Look them up. There's so many. If you've never seen them before, they're fun pieces of equipment. And they all do different things to help you build the system of Pilates inside of your body. And when you think about it, it just makes so much sense. And just to give you a little bit of backstory of how it all came to be, Joseph Pilates created Pilates in a prison. And he originally started teaching people on a mat Pilates. And he realized very quickly that people's bodies were not strong enough to do said mat Pilates. And that is where the reformer became introduced with that spring resistance. Everything in the classical system is based off of spring resistance. So you'll find springs on every piece of equipment, and you're really just finding the same things in different positions in your body on different pieces of equipment, and it helps you build every exercise to just be stronger and better and deeper and more challenging, and it's absolutely incredible. This idea that classical Pilates is boring is so interesting to me, because I feel like people who feel that way or say that have definitely never experienced true classical Pilates. I am the furthest thing from bored when I step into that studio. Whether I'm doing the exact same exercise I did yesterday or not, it is asking your body to work deeper, your mind to concentrate more in order to perform the exercise better than you did it yesterday. There really is no mastering the exercises. They're always going to get more difficult. You're just going to start to understand them more. And I have really, really experienced that inside of my own body. My Pilates, the biggest thing in my Pilates journey is a cultivation of body awareness. And I really feel that having a deep sense of body awareness is the key to movement. And without Pilates, I would have not been able to gain that level of body awareness that I have today, and that I continue to grow every single time I'm doing Pilates. I'm teaching Pilates. It's all the same. I could pretty much talk about it forever, but I am going to reel it in a little bit more into my certification if you're interested in getting certified and what my program looks like in terms of how much I'm putting into it. So the program I'm in is broken up into 4 parts, and we have different things that will contribute to our hours. So we have practice time, which means you can practice with other apprentices or you can practice solo. That is practice teaching, practice doing, whatever you're kind of feeling, up to you on your own terms. We also have observation hours where we watch our other teachers in the studio teach. This is really, really valuable and where we sort of get the most learning experience, because we're watching real teachers in real time teach real bodies. And everybody walks in there differently. You have people of all ages, all sizes, all different limitations and implications that they have to take for their body. So this is like super, super valuable. And I have learned so much just from watching my master teachers teach. The third one is seminars and workshops. The studio offers seminars throughout the year. We have our basic seminar, our intermediate seminar, and our advanced seminar. They're all weekends, typically about 8 hours, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we all sit around and watch the breakdown of every single exercise on every single piece of equipment. There is one master teacher teaching and then one apprentice doing the exercise, and then everybody else is watching. We ask questions, we see it in different bodies, we like really dissect and learn each exercise. Those weekends are always so fun. Definitely tiring, but always super fun. And then the fourth part that goes into our hours is our private lessons. Through my program, we are required, I think it's 35, to take private lessons so that we can feel the work in our own body. And their method there is sort of that you have to be able to do it in order to teach it. And I do feel like I stand by that because experiencing it in your body really helps you teach it to somebody else. So yeah, 4 parts, and my apprentice program isn't timed into increments, so it's not like you have 3 months to complete your basic, and then you have to schedule a test, and then you have 4 months to complete your intermediate, and then we schedule a test. It's at your own pace. So I am 1.5 years into my program, and I am about to test out for my advanced at the end of 2025. But yeah, it's really just what you put into it, how much time you're willing to give it, what your other jobs look like, how many times you can get to the studio per week. So it is pretty flexible, but also like, you know, how long do you want to be an apprentice and how fast do you want to get that certification? So yeah. Test questions is definitely something that I get asked by a lot of people. What does the test out look like? We have to take 3 tests, basic, intermediate, and advanced. And each test is us teaching another apprentice, like a pretend private lesson, and our master teacher is watching us. And we have to teach full mat, full reformer, in the order, in the sequence, and then she picks any other apparatus around the room and kind of randomly tells you, go to the wonder chair and do going up front. And then afterwards, we speak with our master teacher and she tells us if we passed or not. The only written test that I have to take is coming out of my advanced. So once I take my practical for my advanced, I will have a written exam, which is basically just like a series of case study questions, like whatever 75-year-old female walks in, torn meniscus on her right side, complaining of shoulder pain on her left side, write up a 55-minute workout that you would do for her. Questions like that, just sort of like understanding people's injuries in their body, age, complaints, what would you do, what would you shy away from, and just really getting a feel for that. I've learned so much from being an apprentice, but I'm just going to share one thing with you guys because I could do like a whole separate video on that if you want. But the biggest thing I learned from being an apprentice is start teaching as soon as possible. I started teaching immediately after I tested out of my basic, and it really helped me find my confidence and find my voice in front of real people. Because when you're teaching apprentices, there's a sense of like we're equals, and when you get up in front of a room to teach people what to do with their bodies, it's like, holy, I gotta figure this out. So the sooner you can teach, the sooner you get the experience, the better teacher you're gonna become, and it's gonna make a world of a difference even throughout the rest of your certification. I feel super passionate about teaching Pilates in its truest form because I have seen such a difference in my body and my strength and the level of pain relief that I feel day to day, and I've seen it in other people's bodies too. Which is why on this channel, I post mat Pilates videos and reformers Pilates videos because I want you to get a little bit of a taste of classical Pilates for free. But yeah, I absolutely love Pilates, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, you love Pilates too. And if you're in the process of your certification, let me know where you're at in your cert, or if you're still thinking about it, let me know. And I just love connecting with other people who get the love for Pilates. If you guys have any questions about anything Pilates related, I would love to chat about because it just lights me up. And as much as I love being an apprentice, boy, am I excited to test out. So come with me on my journey as I finish this certification and officially become a 3rd generation classical Pilates instructor. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe down below if you like the video, and I will chat with you guys next week. Bye.